there is no escape, nor do we want it. We've come to thrive on it and each other. You can't get the adrenaline pumping without the terror, good people.
Hey, what's up, guys? Christian Out of Horror here. I put the power in your hands to vote, and you guys chose Dawn of the Dead 2004. I was a little nervous when this won because I was thinking to myself, is this going to be a controversial video? But to be honest with you, it looks like the majority of you love this movie, and I'm happy about that because I love it too. Now look, I don't want this video to turn into which one's better. I really think that's not even the point, but to talk about 2004's Dawn of the Dead is a fun thing for me to do because I have a lot of good to say about it. This comes out of the 2000 waves of the horror remakes, the 2000 to 2009 era, and there are some really good ones. There are movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, obviously, which is an amazing remake. There's The Hills Have Eyes, which is an amazing remake. The Last House on the Left is a pretty darn good one. Dawn of the Dead 04 ranks among the highest to me in terms of that era's remakes. It really does. I love it a lot. So this film sports a lot of things that are not only right for that era, but I think are still right today in terms of movies. Not having too many characters and not making them say anything that will just take you completely out of the film. I give a lot of credit right off the bat to James Gunn, who wrote this movie. I give a lot of credit to him because the script was fantastic, I feel, for this movie. And it made all the characters extremely likable, extremely relatable. I loved it. I loved the characters in Dawn of the Dead 04. That's probably, in my opinion, what makes this film so strong. Because zombie films, if you're a fan of zombie films, the zombies usually deliver. And of course, in 2004's Dawn of the Dead, I think they deliver big time. By this point still, in 2004, you've got to have them come in pure aggression, they have to be threatening, and they have to come in numbers. Because if they're just walking by this point, oh man, that'd kind of be a bore. Not everything can be Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead is the greatest, but, by this point, we've got to up the ante. So, with 2004, you've got your girl who is our main protagonist in the film in the beginning. She's working a shift at the hospital. She comes home, and she's having a conversation with her boyfriend or her husband at the time. And what I've loved about that opening scene was, again, how well written it was and how natural the conversation felt, and instantly makes you connect. Connect, boom, just like that to the character. And you're ready to roll with her. You care about her. In the first 10 minutes, I was just like, I like this girl. She talks sensibly. She's acting sensibly. I want to see her make it through because I know what's about to happen. And that's the strongest thing about this film, I think. So, once we get to the mall, which is, of course, that this is where this movie ends up, it's awesome. First of all, early 2000s mall aesthetic is amazing. I miss it so much. When I was young, I used to live at the mall because that's what you did. You go to the mall, you walk around, you hang out with your friends. You just go to the mall and walk. You meet people there and you just talk. So, that's what you did. So that era, I instantly remembered the smell of it. I could feel myself in that time. Great stuff. Fun stores, Suncoast Video, places like that. So the mall aesthetic is amazing in this film. I loved it. I love that Dawn of the Dead, and of course the original is the same way, but I love that Dawn of the Dead is this brightly lit horror movie. It's a great change of pace when you watch a lot of stuff that takes place at night with monsters and killers and everything's shadowed and everything, you can barely see it. You gotta look real hard to see it. You see it that quick. Dawn of the Dead is just in your face intensity in a brightly lit mall, and that's awesome. That is awesome. Again, so the zombies and the gore is great, but the strength, I really believe that the strength in this is absolutely connecting with the characters and caring about them. There's some really good moments where, the cop, he's writing on the dry erase board and putting messages, and they would talk to each other from across the buildings with another guy. I was like, what a nice moment. There's no dialogue. You literally just see them writing and looking at each other's signs through the binoculars. And it's like that camaraderie of, hey, man, do what you got to do to survive. I'm going to do what I got to do to survive. You feel me? And I loved that. I loved that so much. You're going to have your people that want to put matters into their own hands and don't want to be team players because everything's gone amok. and you've got those characters in this movie as well. And it blended very well. I believe one of the cops in this movie was the kid from Air Bud that I used to watch all the time growing up. So it was great seeing that guy in this movie. Yeah, great cast. Perfectly casted as well. Loved everybody in this movie. I thought everybody did their performance and job so well. You get your cameos from legends in this movie, like Savini and things like that. So I love this movie so much. In terms of which version I watched, I went unrated director's cut. It is a little bit longer. Theatrical cut's great. And typically, I always say go to theatrical cuts, because a lot of times these unrated director's cuts, they're just way too long. But because I really enjoy the characters in this movie, because I really enjoyed the gore in this movie, which you get more of both in that, you get more, excursion in the story, and you get more gore and blood in the director's cut, I actually prefer you to watch the director's cut. Now, I have the old Blu-ray of this movie, and I will never watch it again because of the Scream Factory, because right off the bat, the picture does look better. I love the picture quality on this. So both scans of the movie, directors and unrated, both have 2K digital intermediate scans. And this era, that the movies have that early 2000s aesthetic to it. The cameras, like that, those early 2000s digital cameras, I love the look of those. They look great. In terms of special features, you get interviews with James Gunn, Jake Weber, Ty Bell, special makeup effects artist Dave Anderson, Heather Langenkamp Anderson, new behind-the-scenes footage with Dave Anderson, deleted scenes with optional commentary by Zack Snyder and Eric Newman, theatrical trailer. On the second disc, you get, of course, the same digital transfer 2K with HD inserts, but it was flawless. I never saw any drop in quality at all. Audio commentary with Snyder and Newman, Splitting Headaches, Anatomy of Exploding Heads featurette, Attack of the Living Dead featurette, Raising the Dead featurette, Andy's Lost Tapes featurette, Special Report Zombie Invasion, mockumentary on Dead and Loving It, Drawing the Dead featurette. So there are definitely some new things for this Blu-ray that are exclusive special feature-wise, but I mean, the real selling point, I think, is the picture quality on this. The picture quality is great. So if you own that old DVD, I do recommend going ahead and getting this, because it is worth your while, in my opinion, and worth your time and your money. So Dawn of the Dead 04, when it comes to that early 2000s wave of remakes, this is probably my second favorite. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre could be number one, or Hills Have Eyes. I love both of those. But Dawn of the Dead is right up there. And I think that it's great that, in terms of horror remakes, there are some that have disappointed fans greatly. And it seems like the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Not in this case. I really think Dawn of the Dead did it right. Zack Snyder did a great job, and James Gunn wrote a great script. So I give so much credit to those two, especially James Gunn. If you haven't seen Dawn of the Dead 04, huge recommend. I think you'll love it. I think it's right up your alley for horror. I think you'll want to rewatch it quite a number of times, like I do too. If you haven't seen it in a while, please revisit the film, give it a shot. And if you don't own the Scream Factory Blu-ray, I will put my affiliate link down below. If you want to get it, doesn't cost you anything extra. It's worth it. Even if you've got that old DVD or Blu-ray of it, upgrade to this, because the picture quality is better and you get some more special features. So it's a win-win. So Dawn of the Dead 04 gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. I love it. No complaints. I really don't have any complaints with the film. That's the truth. I just love the film. So if you haven't seen it, check it out for me. This is Christian Hanna Horror. Thank you guys for choosing that pick. I will give the power to you again soon and let you choose between movie reviews that I will do in future episodes. So love you guys. See you later.